Bonjour, and welcome back to Vox Terra. And if you have not done so, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel and you've clicked that notification bell so you know when I'm putting up a new video. If you mailed a letter in the US of A sometime after October 1st, you may feel like one of these two people. I'm telling you, I sent the check a week ago. I don't know what happened. Or you may feel like, I'll believe it when I see it. We ain't got the check yet. So what's happened here is Postal Master Louis DeJoy decided to slow the mail service effective October 1. Now, most media outlets will frame it this way, the way the AP did. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy on Tuesday announced plans to slow mail delivery standards and cut hours at some post offices as a part of a 10-year strategy to stabilize the struggling agency. But I would prefer you begin to frame it this way, thinking of a quote from the Beastie Boys song Sabotage, I can't stand it, I know you planned it. So what I believe our largely corporate business-owned news media is leaving out of that when they're underemphasizing, let's put it that way, underemphasizing, is that there are a lot of elements within American society, but globally, very wealthy individuals as well as well-heeled business interests that have a pro-privatization agenda, meaning they would like the public goods carved up and sold off to private interests. Now, though their think tanks promoting this will often couch it in terms of freedom, free enterprise, and so forth, but be aware that agenda is there. So one tactic to promote the privatization would be to make a public service seem, well, for lack of a better way of putting it, crappy. You can think of the example of the electric trolley cars and how towards the end of their lifespan they weren't getting funded. Thus, what happens is people would ride on those electric trolleys back in the old days and say, wow, this is really crummy. This really is obsolete. It's time to get with the future. It's time to get with everybody driving an individual internal combustion automobile. So the crappiness of the service becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, with the post office, I believe going back to Reagan, they started coming under pressure to simultaneously be profitable, yet still fulfill their constitutional mandate. And many people are not aware that the US Post Office was established by the US Constitution. So starting under Reagan, the post office came under pressure to both simultaneously become profitable, yet still fulfill their mandate of serving all the public, putting them in an unfair advantage vis-a-vis private interests. Well, now along comes Louis DeJoy, appointed by the Trump administration. Well, a couple things not being highlighted about him, according to Open Secrets and other sources, he was a major Republican donor. According to Salon and other sources, DeJoy helped run a logistics company, and by logistics we're talking here about the shipping of goods and that type of thing, which would obviously be in competition with the post office, called XPO. And to this day, his family still has ties with XPO. Well, again, according to Salon, XPO was awarded a $120 million contract to take over 2 centers that organize and load mail, previously done by the US Post Office. So there we see an example of a bite taken out of the public sector. Now, DeJoy and Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan, these are all, I've never heard DeJoy speak on the matter, but I have heard Ronald Reagan speak, as well as Donald Trump, and these are individuals who promote privatization. There are many such powerful, wealthy organizations out there which are supported by the likes of ExxonMobil and others. So one point I want you to take away from this video is that it's not as simple as a crummy public sector versus a smooth and efficient private sector. Well, the private sector has the ability to go bankrupt and leave the public holding a mess. Another problem with the private sector, despite some of its good points, is that it is entirely based on the need to sell product, whether the public needs it or doesn't. And that is what has gotten us into this climate crisis, as well as to being entirely dependent on a heavy consumeristic economy that is pumping our biosphere or our habitat full of carcinogens and greenhouse gases. Well, if humanity wants to focus on its long-term survival, instead of basing their entire life around the selling of product, we are going to need to step back from that rat race, that heavy need to sell, buy, sell, need it or don't. Well, a public sector is one tried and true method of doing that, one that has been done in the past and can continue to go forward. I believe it is very important to maintain a robust public sector to offer a counterbalance to the excesses of a private sector, including the excesses that the large aggregations of capital or money then play within our media, our thinking, and our government. So next time you hear the media emphasizing the crumminess or the crappiness of a public sector option, or the crumminess or the crappiness of any good for that matter, be it, well, renewable energy or something of that nature, think about that line from the Beastie Boys. I can't stand it. I know you planned it. And until next time, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel. You've clicked that notification bell. You're liking, you're commenting, including constructive criticism. And until next time, as always, peace be with you.